February 24th, 1978. Just a completely normal night. 5 friends heading home after watching a basketball game. Laughing, talking, making plans. Everything was fine. But the next morning, all 5 vanished from the face of the earth. No accident, no clues, just 5 missing people. 4 days later, deep in the mountain wilderness, their car was found, in perfect condition, full tank of gas, engine working fine. But here's the weird part. It was on the completely wrong road, a place they had zero reason to be. Even weirder, inside the car were their jackets, but outside it was freezing cold, meaning they'd walked out into that brutal cold without their jackets, into the unknown darkness. But why? A few months later, inside an abandoned trailer in the woods, they found one of them, dead. He died from starvation. Yeah, you heard that right, starvation. But right there within his reach, tons of food. He didn't eat. He didn't try to survive. He just waited. But for what? And what happened to the other 4? To this day, nobody knows the answers to these questions. And this incident remains one of America's strangest and most terrifying mysteries. Maybe this isn't just a missing persons case. Maybe there's something hidden here that nobody's figured out yet. So let's dive into this unbelievable true story. February 24th, 1978. A small town in California called Yuba City. Friday night, 5 young guys set out to catch a basketball game. Just a regular evening, but nobody knew these 5 would never make it back home. Their names were Gary Mathias, Jack Madruga, Bill Sterling, Jack Hewitt, and Ted Ware. Ages ranged from 24 to 32. All friends, grew up together, used to play basketball together on a local team called the Gateway Gators. Regular guys, quiet types, close to their families. That night, they headed to the town of Chico, only about 50 miles away. Plan was to watch a basketball game at the University of California. They had their own playoff game the next day. They were pumped about it. So the plan was simple. Watch the game, head straight home, get some sleep. They went in Jack Madruga's car, a white Mercury Montego, 1969 model. Jack loved that car, took real good care of it. Game ended around 9:30 p.m. They left, stopped at a local store, grabbed some snacks, then hit the road back home. Time was around 10 p.m. What happened next, nobody's been able to figure out to this day. Next day, Saturday, morning came, but none of the 5 showed up to their game. Families started getting worried, started calling each other. Nobody knew anything. Nobody'd seen them. By afternoon, the families reported it to the police. 5 men had mysteriously vanished. Police started investigating. They found out the 5 had left Chico the night before, but never made it home. They checked if there had been any accidents along the route. Nothing. Checked the hospitals. Nothing. 5 people had just disappeared into thin air. 3 days went by. No sign of them. Families were going crazy. Local folks started searching. Then, February 28th, 4 days later, police got a call. Plumas National Forest, mountain area. A forest ranger reported he'd spotted a car, abandoned, covered in snow, on a narrow mountain road. Police headed out, recognized the car immediately, Jack Madruga's Mercury Montego. But here's where things got really weird. This spot was about 70 miles from Chico, but here's the thing, it was in the complete opposite direction. To get to Yuba City, they should have headed south, but they'd gone northeast, deep into the mountain wilderness. Why? Police examined the car, found even stranger stuff. The car had gas, the engine was fine, the battery had charge, the car started up without any issues. It wasn't stuck. It had veered off the road a bit, sure, but with a little effort, you could have easily gotten it back on track. So why'd they abandon the car? Another thing, the windows were open, and outside temperature was around 23 degrees Fahrenheit, freezing cold.
Inside the car, they found their jackets, all 5 of them, meaning they'd walked out into this freezing cold without their jackets. Police started searching the area, found footprints in the snow. Looked like they'd gotten out of the car and started walking. But where? The prints headed in one direction, deeper into the forest, up the mountain. Police were baffled. Why would they go that way? There's nothing out there, just thick forest and mountains. A massive search operation kicked off. Police, rescue teams, volunteers, hundreds of people started searching, used helicopters, search dogs, but found no trace. A week passed, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, nothing. Then the snow started melting. March came around. April, still nothing. Families were losing hope. Even the police figured they might never be found. But then in June, something unbelievable happened.
June 19, 1978. 4 months later, a group of motorcycle riders were out exploring Plumas Forest. They were following an old trail. Suddenly spotted a building in the distance, an old trailer, Forest Service property, been abandoned for years. They got closer. Door was open, peeked inside, and immediately screamed in horror. Inside, there was a dead body lying on a bed. Police arrived. It was Ted Wire, one of the 5. But the way they found him, that became an even more horrifying mystery. Ted had died from starvation and cold. His body weight had dropped by almost 80 pounds, skeletal. His feet had severe frostbite, flesh had rotted away. But the most mind-blowing thing, the trailer was stocked with food. Yeah, you heard that right. There was food, tons of it. Sea rations, military meals, canned goods, enough to last weeks, and they were right there within reach, on shelves, packed in boxes. So why didn't Ted eat? Police dug deeper, found even weirder stuff. The trailer had a propane heater. It worked, but it hadn't been turned on. The propane tank was nearly empty. Looked like someone had used it, but not fully. The trailer had matches, had blankets, had wood to build a fire. But Ted had died from the cold. They found some food wrappers, opened, looked like someone had eaten, but Ted's stomach was empty. He hadn't eaten. Police calculated Ted had been in that trailer for about 8 to 13 weeks, nearly 3 months, alone, slowly dying. Next to him, they found some books he'd been reading. His body was wrapped in multiple blankets. But the questions remained. Why didn't he eat? Why didn't he turn on the heater? Why didn't he go outside for help? This trailer was only a few miles from the main road, walkable distance. And the biggest question, where were the other 4? Police searched around the trailer. Within days, they found more bodies. Jack Madruga and Bill Sterling both found some distance from the trailer, under the snow. They'd died from hypothermia, freezing to death. From the condition of their bodies, looked like they'd died much earlier, probably in February or March, meaning within days or weeks of abandoning the car. About a month later, they found Jack Hewitt's skull, even further away. Didn't find the whole body, probably wild animals had gotten to it. But Gary Mathias was never found, not to this day. Police kept investigating. They did the math. From the car to that trailer was about 19 miles, nearly 30 kilometers, mountain terrain, covered in thick snow, brutal cold, and they'd walked it without jackets. Why? Police started building different theories, but none of them fully made sense. First theory, maybe they saw someone and got scared. That night, driving back from Chico, maybe they spotted someone, maybe some criminal, maybe someone was chasing them. Out of fear, they turned onto the wrong road, kept driving up the mountain, then when the car couldn't go further, they abandoned the car and ran. But problem with this theory, nobody saw anyone chasing them, and where the car was found, there were no signs of any other vehicle. Second theory, Gary Mathias's medication. Gary had schizophrenia. He'd been in the army, but got honorably discharged due to mental health issues. After coming back, his condition got worse. He had to take medication regularly. Police found out Gary hadn't brought his meds that day. His mom had said when Gary didn't take his medication, he'd start acting strange, would have hallucinations, get paranoid.
Maybe Gary thought someone was chasing them when there really wasn't, but he convinced the others. They were all a bit mentally vulnerable. They believed Gary, and that's how they ended up on the wrong path. This theory makes some sense, but questions remain. Where's Gary? Is he still alive? Did he run away? Or did he die somewhere too, just never found? Third theory, they fell victim to some cult or secret group. In the 1970s, California had lots of cults, small secretive groups. Some were violent. Maybe they encountered one of these groups, got kidnapped, taken up the mountain, forced to abandon their car, then released into the wilderness. But there's zero evidence for this, and why would anyone do that anyway? Fourth theory, the strange effects of hypothermia. When the human body gets extremely cold, the brain stops functioning properly. There's something called paradoxical undressing. Blood vessels suddenly dilate. A person feels unbearably hot, so they strip off their clothes. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe they just accidentally took the wrong road. Then the cold messed with their brains. They couldn't think straight anymore. But this doesn't explain why they took the wrong road in the first place, why they abandoned the car, and most importantly, Ted survived 3 months. Why didn't he eat?
Police investigated the trailer more thoroughly, found some things that deepened the mystery. Food wrappers were found, meaning someone ate, but Ted didn't. So who ate? The other 4? Did they make it to the trailer, ate some food, then left again? Or Gary Mathias, was he there? Did he eat the food, take care of Ted, then leave? Another weird thing they found, a pair of army boots near the trailer. Police thought maybe they belonged to Gary, but couldn't confirm. So did Gary make it there, left his boots? Why? Police built a theory. Maybe Gary brought the other 4 to the trailer. Maybe he knew there'd be food there. From his time in the army, he knew about these kinds of places. But by then, maybe Jack Madruga, Bill Sterling, and Jack Hewitt had already died from the cold on the way. Only Ted and Gary made it to the trailer. Gary left Ted there and went to get help, but he died on the way too, or escaped. And Ted? He was the most mentally vulnerable. Maybe he couldn't figure out what to do. Even with food right in front of him, he couldn't eat, couldn't figure out how to turn on the heater. He just waited, hoping Gary would come back, month after month, slowly dying. But this is just a theory too, no proof. Police questioned locals, asked if anyone saw anything that night. Most couldn't say anything. But one man came forward. His name was Joseph Shans. That night, he'd had a heart attack. His car had gotten stuck on the mountain. He was alone, in the brutal cold. He said that night he saw a white car, like a Mercury Montego, had 5 or 6 people in it. But there was another car too, a pickup truck. The truck had some people in it. Looked like they were arguing, getting heated. Joseph said he'd called out for help, but nobody came. Everyone just left. Police investigated this lead, but that truck or those people were never found. Joseph Shans later changed his statement, said maybe he saw wrong. His mind wasn't clear because of the heart attack. So what really happened? Police never found out. The case remained unsolved. Years and years have passed. Families are still looking for answers. Gary Mathias's mom passed away, never saw her son again, never found out what happened that night. Different detectives, journalists, amateur sleuths have worked this case. New theories keep coming. Some say Gary Mathias is responsible for everything. His hallucinations caused everyone to die, and he ran away out of shame, still alive somewhere in hiding. Some say they got mixed up with drug smugglers or some criminal gang, got murdered, bodies hidden. Some say it was some secret government experiment, MK Ultra type stuff, mind control. Some say it was alien abduction, UFOs. But what's the truth? Nobody knows. It's now 2026. Almost 48 years have gone by. The case is still unsolved. The Yuba County 5, America's most mysterious missing persons case. 5 regular young guys, a regular night, a basketball game, and then they disappeared forever. Their car was found 70 miles away, wrong direction, engine running, but abandoned. 4 of them were found dead. 1 was never found. And the biggest mystery? Ted Weir, who died of starvation despite having food available. 3 months alone in a trailer, waiting for who?
For what? Why didn't he eat? Why didn't he go outside? Why did he just sit there, waiting to die? These questions, nobody can answer them, even today. Maybe Gary Mathias knows, if he's alive somewhere. Maybe the Plumas Forest knows, that thick wilderness where so many secrets still hide. Maybe someone knows, but isn't telling. Or maybe truly nobody knows. Maybe this is one of those mysteries that has no answer. Never will.
So what did you think of today's case file? Feel free to drop a comment. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you didn't, you can dislike it too. Our channel has tons more thrilling true stories, survival stories, and countless documentary videos just like this. And if you love watching unique and uncommon survival documentaries with fresh stories, then make sure to subscribe to Beyond Survival Docs right now. I'll see you soon with another true story, or maybe a new case file. Until then, take care, everyone.